yeah.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to No Collar Entertainment.
We don't know if we're.
Then we start over again if we're not. This is Ariane.
This is Matt.
This is Juice.
And we're back for Squeezy Side Chick Wednesday.
Marco Sky Chick Wednesday.
Marco Side Chick Wednesday.
Sorry, my mistake.
Well, actually, it's Marco's Scary. It is the final episode. This year for Marco's Scary Spooky Side Chick Wednesday. For clarification. And
what a way
fuck
to end it.
Fuck.
You're
Sweetheart.
welcome.
Tell them
Would you like to tell them
just tell them
what we're going over today?
We are watching the classic
Excuse me.
original feature.
Classic.
You heard me. Sharknado.
God help us all.
Indeed. There isn't really a whole lot to tell about this purpose. If you haven't already heard about it somehow, Sharknado is exactly what it sounds like. It is a shark tornado, and it is terrible. It is a made-for-TV sci-fi original feature comedy disaster that basically, for reasons, we're just going to say global warming, because there's nothing even close to an explanation given as to why this happens. Sharks, through hurricanes and the consequential waterspouts and tornadoes as a result, end up terrorizing the entire city of Los Angeles. It is featuring Beverly Hills 90210 alum Ian Ziering in probably one of the only things that he's ever done since that show.
And American Pie alum.
Tara Reid.
Tara Reid. Is it Tara or Tara?
I'm pretty sure
It's Tara.
Yeah.
Tara.
And then a bunch of other people, most of whom we have no idea who, except for like the dad from Home Alone.
John Hurd.
Yeah. So, it is
My bad.
classically terrible.
No. If you use classic one more time, talk about this movie, I'm going to lose my mind.
So there's a few things about it. Premiere of the film was watched by 1.337 million viewers, which is only slightly below the average audience of the 1.5 million viewers for a sci-fi original film, which is horrifying in and of itself. But it trended on Twitter, and Corey Monteith, whose last week before his death was about the film. Who the hell's Corey Monteith?
I don't know.
Canadian actor and musician who was in Stargate. Oh! I'm pretty sure it's Finn from fucking Glee.
Strange wants to know
Yeah.
how my ass is feeling after getting my ass whooped in Madden earlier. Not great. Thank you for asking.
Oh.
Now we can move on to the movie discussion.
Yeah, so one of the reasons why this movie was anyone, if it lives in infamy, because it shouldn't have, because it didn't do as well as any other sci-fi movie to that point, was because of Twitter, basically. So one more thing we can always thank or
social
hate
media,
Twitter for.
yeah.
Corey Monteith, who was the actor from Glee, who passed away, it was literally his last tweet before he died.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was the tweet?
That's a great question. I'm not really sure. It just said, according to Wikipedia, also by Corey Monteith, whose last tweet before his death was about the film. Due to the increase in publicity, they repeated the premiere or whatever a week later. This time, 38% increase in airings, and then of course, like, got a third one. It got double viewers. And so more and more people start seeing it, and
Why? Why?
And just because, like, it's so bad, you just kind of gotta watch it, sort of thing.
No, you don't. I'll tell you that right now. You don't.
And I liken it in some ways to the holiday special from the Star Wars in the 70s.
I would still rather watch
and
the
that
Star Wars
it's
holiday
so
special.
bad, you almost have to watch it out of, like, sheer morbid curiosity. And then of course it spawned, like, I think 3 or 4 sequels. Yeah.
From what I've seen.
So
You know it's
Rotten-
bad. You know it's bad when Tara Reid decides not to come back until the 4th movie. If I'm right.
Rotten Tomatoes gave the film a 77%.
Oh.
With an average rating of 6.4 out of 10.
This is why you can never trust critics.
Mm-hmm.
The site's consensus states, quote, proudly, shamelessly, and gloriously brainless, Sharknado redefines so bad it's good for a new generation. The whole point of movies like this, and someone else was like writing, is fabulous in-home commentary, often accompanied by the consumption of many alcoholic beverages.
Which we had none.
Although David Hinckley of the Daily News from New York says Sharknado is an hour and a half of your life that you'll never get back, and you won't want to. Now, that may be a part that we all have to disagree on. It was used for riff tracks for Mystery Science Theater in 2014. And after the event, it was said that being skewered by, the director was saying being skewered by the MST3K guys was an honor. And Homes.com, shut the fuck up, added a page to their disaster prep guides in 2016 on how to prepare your home for a Sharknado.
Terrible.
Alright, so...
What year did this movie come out?
2013. So 11 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Feels like it was that long since we started watching this one.
So, first impressions.
Who wants to go first?
I will. I need a drink.
Yeah.
And then I need a follow-up drink.
Uh-huh.
And then I need another drink.
So you need to drink while the movie's on.
Yeah, that's the problem. I had no drinks while this movie was on.
We had plenty of alcohol here.
Well, you didn't offer either.
You didn't ask.
You're the hostess.
You know how we get down. You saw me drinking booze.
Yes, but you usually have it. Drinking prepared, or you're drinking it.
Yes.
There was nothing out today anyway.
There's beer literally like within your reach.
I don't like beer.
That's on you.
That's fair. Anyway, yes, this movie is an hour and a half that I will never get back, and I wish I did. It's just bad. It's so bad. This is the definition of shut your brain off and just watch.
Mm-hmm.
Insinuating you need to literally destroy motor functions to enjoy this movie.
Otherwise, you would run from flea and tear. Yes.
And I'm done.
Babe. Are you reading reviews on the film?
No.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at a little bit of trivia that just makes sense. So just give you an idea that just validates my thoughts on this film. First, shot in 18 days.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
That's
God,
all right.
that makes sense.
Okay.
That's all right.
Ian Ziering, or whatever the fuck you say, openly admitted in an interview that he disliked the script but agreed to star in the film anyway because he was about to become a father for the second time and needed to make a certain amount of money that year to qualify for the Screen Actors Guild health insurance.
No, that's all right. You did it for the money. That's why anyone would do that for you.
That's why anybody would do this movie.
I just can't sit back and watch this. It's actually his line. It's somehow his reaction when he finished the movie somehow made it in.
Yeah. This is trash.
The writer's name is Thunder Levin.
With how much shit you give me when I try to pick something that at least approaches looking decent, you may be a little bit of a hypocrite.
Okay, so we're gonna get personal. Gotcha.
We're not getting
A little
personal.
personal.
I'm just saying.
If
If you're gonna give me so much shit and then pick this movie, does not make sense.
And you're still getting personal, but that's fine. So my thoughts are, this is a movie that you can honestly turn your brain off, and you kind of have to, otherwise you won't be able to get through it. And I, watching it again, a 3.3 on IMDb.
So bad. This movie is so bad.
The worst parts, so we'll get into like some of the stuff, like, I'm actually, this movie's a lot more problematic than I remember it being, and it has almost nothing to do with the actual plot, or the CGI, or any of the other elements that make this movie horrible. But I'll get into that. All that aside, I said multiple times throughout the film to remind myself as well as my co-watchers that when you're watching this film, nothing it makes sense. The sooner you accept that fact, the better off you will be. The easier it will be to get through it.
For somebody who doesn't study film, who like is bad at understanding storytelling, this to me was I can shut off my brain and accept it at least when the movie's tolerable. Yeah. I'm struggling to just get through this. I think as soon as we start, I'm like, how long is this shit show?
Mm-hmm.
I can see a lot of what you guys talk about when it comes to certain movies that we watch. This movie is the literal definition of this is a dude, where's my car? And when I say that, this is going up to the drive-thru of the Chinese restaurant, ordering food, and then
knowing then.
And then
and then I'm done.
And then
I'm done. I'm done ordering. I'm knowing then.
And then
knowing then.
And then
knowing then.
And then
knowing then.
And then that's what this movie is.
There's lots of and then.
And talk about and then storytelling.
No, but this is literally, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing. We start here, and then the shark attack happens. And then things kind of calm down for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then the shark, and then the water, and then the weather gets to shit. And then the sharks start coming through the dude's bar.
Yeah.
And then we cut to the next thing.
Yeah, no.
So
I remember I also mentioned that this movie is... Matt said a comatose bag of cocaine as an opposition to the description of the Star Wars Holiday Special, which has been described as written by a sentient bag of cocaine. I would posit this movie was actually written by a sentient bag of weed. In that it doesn't make any sense either. It's some of the lines, some of the ideas literally feel like somebody who was fucking high. Like, be cool? Bombs! Let's throw bombs into the tornado.
Which by the way...
yes.
I'll let you make the point.
Actually was a driving plot point in fucking Twisters, the sequel, 2024.
And that's why that movie is now a 3 in my mind.
I actually did drop down. What was I before? 7? I was at 7.
Yeah.
It's 6.5. I want to go lower. I'm going to leave it at 6.5. But yeah, no, I'm down. I try so hard to say that no. No.
How
this movie should not inspire you to do anything but make better films.
Yeah, for real.
But so the good.
15,000 a year is not worth it.
Oh, okay, the line. So
that's it.
You want to go into that a little bit?
Sure. So there is a scene where our main cast of characters are driving through Los Angeles, and whether or not the water level is high is unclear because it keeps changing. And there is a bus, and we don't know if the bus is full of children. They don't know if the bus is full of children, but the protagonist is like, yeah, I'm not gonna leave anybody on that bus. It doesn't feel right. So he then proceeds to drive over the bridge or up to the bridge where
Ed, thank you for joining
where
us.
the bus is underneath.
We're gonna review Sharknado.
He begins to pull out mountain climbing gear and cliffhangers his way down to the top of the bus. And then we see that the bus is indeed full of children and an adult, which we figure out is the bus driver. I thought it was a teacher. As this happens, he then rappels to the side of the bus or to the just above camera level because according to shots, the water is supposed to be somewhere up to like the door of the bus, and then begins to help the children go up a second rope to safety, while no sharks attack him or the children throughout this entire scene. And then finally,
even though they are jumping throughout.
Oh, no. Hold on. I'm not done. We're going to get there. Then finally, because you have to save the children first, think of the children, the bus driver is then lifted. Then he goes to save the bus driver. And as he's being lifted up, he goes and he says, 15,000 a year is not worth this. Or something to that extent, and which made us all laugh. Best line of the movie. And then he is killed in what is considered the most, in one of the worst CGI death scenes this movie has to offer. Mm-hmm. And it is the death of...
That's saying something.
Well, the reason I say that is because that actor is actually a gem. For you who don't know, that man he's credited as Robbie the bus driver. He is played by Robbie Rist. That name was familiar. I couldn't figure out why, so I had to look him up. So he is known for playing cousin Oliver in the Brady Bunch. Okay. Martin in Grady, Little John in Big John, Little John. But the thing that got me the most, that I recognize his name from once I seen his credits, he is the voice of Michelangelo from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies.
Like 1990?
Yes.
Oh.
Turtles 90, Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, and Turtles 3.
Really?
He is the voice of Michelangelo.
Yeah. By the way, Strange, Sharknado is so awful, it loops back around to being amazing. You're right. Matt and Juice, I think y'all are being a bit harsh on this god-awful amazing movie.
No, I'm not.
You can't use god-awful and amazing in the same...
Apparently, Strange can.
No. Also, apparently, him and the director provided music for the film and the theme song for the franchise.
Also, the one who got killed in ankle deep water was the director.
He deserves that. He deserves that. And that's it for my good. I guess the only other thing I could say is there's a lot of good-looking women in this movie. That's and I hate to objectify it, but I couldn't find anything else good in this movie.
Well, it's California, so you're gonna have to, apparently everyone is pretty, except for Robbie the bus driver.
Yeah. Go ahead, Matt.
Yep.
It ended.
Yeah, I thought you were
Your
going to
turn.
Alright, so my good is I agree with Strange.
I'm starting to think you guys didn't enjoy this movie. What gave it away? That's why you're my side chick.
So I thought some of the good was this movie clearly could not possibly be taking itself seriously.
No, I think it was. That's the worst part. I think this was made by some gun-toting, MAGA, shark-hating dumbass and actually thinks this is a good movie. And then we as an audience gave it a cult following.
And we did.
Which then fucking spun off 6 fucking more of these things.
Yep.
Including one in space.
There's one in space?
Yes, remember he fights a shark with lightsaber.
I honestly don't remember. So Anthony C. Ferrante, who is the director of this film, trying to see if there's any reason how he formed the band Quint with actor/musician Robbie Rist,
who did the soundtrack for this movie.
Yes. So
it was to promote his music, his story, his idea, and all of it is a failure. Failure.
Well, I would say.
Would you call it a failure if it spawned more movies?
Yes. I would also say they went from having a $5 million budget to $19 million in the same sort of a year because of this film. And there were 6 Sharknadoes, by the way.
Do not try to justify this. Don't try to justify it.
Sharknado 2, the second one. Sharknado 3, Oh Hell No. Sharknado, the Fourth Awakens. Sharknado 5, Global Swarming. And the last Sharknado, It's About Time.
I will give them credit for some of the titles.
Well,
because
and that's kind of like,
again,
you know, that they were absolutely not taking their shit
And
seriously.
The Force Awakens is the one where they fight a shark in space with a lightsaber.
Oh god, that just reminded me about something.
The sentence I just said. No, this movie's...
It's so obviously not intended to be a serious fucking movie. To me. And I think that's part of the reason why I can enjoy it. A lot of times when we go into the movies, whatever, that you guys are talking about, oh, like, you just gotta turn your brain off. They are demanding that I use logic and then tell me, no, you don't have to use logic right here. Like, nope, you don't get to do that. You can tell me that I don't have to use logic right here because it's a movie. Movie does that all the time. But the leap that I'm required to make, I don't feel either I necessarily need to be able to make it, I'm not athletic enough to make it, or I just, fuck you, you're being lazy, you have to make me make it. This movie is like, we're not taking shit seriously, none of this makes any fucking sense, it's a sci-fi original feature, strap in motherfuckers, and either just turn your brain off or don't bother. And I'm like, alright, I can respect that.
Don't bother.
And so, like, if I'm gonna watch it, and obviously some of the stuff was so over the top, that it does this weird line between being gory and goofy. And
Gorfy.
oh my god. So like, I personally prefer. I was actually on I forget what thing I was on. And I'll just I'll look it up real quick. I have something. It was on Facebook. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing that I did, but I actually made a Venn diagram to explain like the question was, what are your favorite horror movies? And mine, I actually created a post, and you can go ahead and see what I wrote. And it was a Venn diagram that said self-aware horrors and horror comedies, and in the middle was actually Cabin in the Woods. And my post was perfection, because that is my favorite type of movie. It is a self-aware horror movie. Self-aware horrors that are also horror comedies. Scream is a self-aware horror. It's not a comedy.
But scary movie.
Winfield is a horror comedy.
Yes.
Or Death Becomes Her, is it a horror comedy?
Yeah.
Ish. It's the supernatural elements is horror.
It's teetering the line of comedy.
But it's not necessarily self-aware.
No,
this movie is a self-aware horror that is comedic only because of how terribly it's executed. And I feel like part of it was like they were not trying that hard. Other part of it was they wanted to say something intentional, like, oh, global warming and blah, 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 like message here, while also including some incredibly, really problematic language with regards to women. And that's probably gonna be one of my uglies. But like, aside from all of that, like, it was obvious, like, we didn't spend much money, we didn't spend much time or money on the budget, on the script, on the CGI. We're just being able to greenlit this thing, which is get it done. We'll have some fun. It's going to be goofy and gory at the same time. People will never take it seriously. It's fine. And they're right. And people were so amazed by how spectacularly obviously bad it was made, that it was endearing. And that's why I liked it for a while. That said, I haven't seen this film almost since it came out. Now, I have watched a bunch of the sequels, just because at that point I'm kind of dialed in, like, let's go, I'll buy. But I don't think I've ever watched all of them. I think we stopped at 4. So, but yeah, that's my good. It's so bad it's endearingly okay. Don't worry, I actually have plenty of ugly though. I have plenty of bad, honestly.
Okay, so I'll be honest, I love stupid stuff. Like, one of my favorite wrestlers is a guy whose gimmick was selling one DVD, not multiple copies. Oh, this sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I like stupid stuff as the next person when it's well executed and or written. I don't like stupid stuff for the sake of it being stupid.
See, that's the only way I can enjoy it, honestly. Sometimes.
I can't.
Sometimes.
Here's a good example. Here's a perfect example. Here's my example. Mm-hmm. I would rather watch Talladega Nights multiple times over Step Brothers.
I can see that. I don't want to watch Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Well, and some people really like Step Brothers.
And I barely ever watched Talladega Nights. I've seen some of it. When I've seen it, I find it still more humorous than Step Brothers, but not enough to make me actually go back and like, I need to watch this movie.
Oh no, I mean it's not to the point where I need to, but if I was given the option, I would rather watch Talladega Nights over Step Brothers, just like how or anything. Or Elf.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Elf either. Okay, real quick, Strange also said another comment earlier that says, well, that's 2 wrong opinions and 1 correct one. I'm not going to say, ... but it's Ari. Ari is correct.
I saw that earlier.
And
I acknowledged it.
And then Strange says, the finished comment from the last one, not multiple copies of that one DVD. No, just the one DVD, so I love this movie. And then, no, I love it when it's stupidly bad, too. I loved when Vince controlled Raw and it was dog shit. Then, when it was okay, I'd rather it be garbage than it be good.
Wow.
Okay. Alright, I think we've done what we can for the good. We really don't have a whole lot to really discuss.
I don't even think we've done what we can. I think we did whatever little bit of good there is.
Yeah.
So... Who wants to go first on the back?
Matt, go ahead and go back.
Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Everything, your turn.
Try and be a little more specific, or...
The CGI is trash.
Oh God, yeah.
The writing is garbage.
Very much, yes.
The acting is abysmal.
It's not good, no.
There's a point where a grown-ass drunkard man takes a bar stool and knocks off a few 100-pound shark off of somebody. And the shark rolls like it just got hit by a nuke.
Yep.
Then he proceeds later on using the same bar stool to break a car window to let a dog out.
While barely swinging it.
Yeah.
The rushing water scenes look more like semen than they do actual water.
Yeah.
Tara Reid is abysmal. Her acting in American Pie should have won an Oscar compared to what she did in this shit. The son is the most annoyingly bad actor I've ever seen in my life.
And Strange said, yes, Matt, yes, that's why it's amazing.
Not a single actor could convey urgency, could convey worry, could convey a human emotion. I'm pretty sure that there are filters in everyone's TV, and when they turn this movie on, little puffs of cocaine come out and filter the air. And that's where they get people like Ari, who is obviously high right now, enjoying this movie.
Oh man, I wish.
This is
trash.
Then you go, and then the rip-offness. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
I get love letter stuff. I get that. And I think there's a lot of Spielberg love letter stuff in here. So I'm cool with that stuff. But when you obviously rip something off,
like Ready Bigger Shopper,
it's terrible.
Or the driving a truck into the tornado to save the world.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Matt, but the way you described it sounds like a great. Oh, there it is. That got up for me. Maybe you can see it.
A great bad movie.
Yeah.
No, it's not. A great bad movies to me are like Tremors. That's a great bad movie.
That's a great movie.
It's on your wheel, so we'll get into that.
Yes, we will.
This is just painful.
I would rather.
The first act is a slog, which tries to. It's like the Ian's character. What's his name? Finn. Finn Shepherd. The shepherd of the Finns. That's
Finley Finn Shepherd. Yes.
The fucking terrible
Finley,
effort.
The Finn Shepherd. Is that even just he's supposed to be the Finn?
My name's Finley, and I love to fight.
No wonder we have an opinion. Shepard is boring. All right, Strange, we're gonna have an issue because I actually really like that movie.
So, all right. So,
in closing,
no. Let me run through. You asked me to be more detailed.
Yeah,
be more
right,
detailed.
Go ahead.
So Finn's character is introduced as it's like he's center screen, so we have to like him, even though every piece of evidence shows that this guy is a piece of dog shit.
Yeah,
he's a terrible father. He's a terrible ex-husband. Mm-hmm. He's a manipulative boss. He's trash. He's a trash human being with a bullshit frat boy best friend that I really don't care about.
I legit fell asleep all 5 times I tried to. I'm
guessing watch the movie.
Oh.
We'll talk about Tremors later. Then you go into the second act when he finally gets to his daughter. And that's the other thing is like, his whole plot is like, oh yeah, my wife. Oh yeah, my daughter. Oh yeah, my son. Like, what the fuck are we even doing? And then you bring in this confrontational boyfriend of the ex-wife, whose only purpose there is to get enough heat so that when a shark eats him, you don't feel bad about it.
Yes.
It
checks all the boxes for
it has plot convenience everywhere. Yep. It has plot armor everywhere. Yep. No rules apply. Nothing makes sense. Mm-hmm. It's an absolute... How do you exit a fully flooded... The first floor of a house is fully flooded, then you exit the house, and it looks like it's been barely drizzling. There's no water on the ground. What is that?
I'm going to redirect you back to my original statement of nothing in this movie makes sense, and so the sooner you accept that fact, the easier it'll be for you to accept.
I refuse to accept that fact. Movies should make sense.
They should.
This is like a toddler was telling me a story of what they did their school day, and you just want to hit it in the face with its bottle because it won't shut up.
Why toddler in the face, baby?
Because it's telling me this story.
Well, it's a toddler, baby. You still have to give it like it's still a toddler.
But a grown man made this.
Yeah, I know.
A grown-ass man made this.
I know.
And made money off of it. And profited off of this. You need a further example why Americans are fucking stupid? Look at the success of this movie.
I wouldn't use this as an example, no. I have much better examples in this one.
It got such a following, they released it in theaters.
Not to mention,
I don't know if the mic picked that up. This movie got such a following that they released it in theaters.
To be fair, they actually released it in theaters first, as part of like a private showing or whatever screening.
They always do that.
They released it on TV.
Yeah, but then they decided to re-release it in theaters.
Yeah, they decided to re-release it in theaters.
And then not only
that,
they decided to re-release it in theaters and then put it in 3D.
Everything's bad about this movie. This movie sucks. It's terrible, and I'll never watch it again.
That's fine.
Continue.
Alright, so I'm just going to go through all of I have a list here, because I actually didn't make a list, but I was trying to go through the movie. Sharks growling. The whole intro, which has absolutely no bearing in the rest of the plot of the film whatsoever. We just have this like random weird-ass drug deal of like shark fins, which is supposed to be a commentary on like the sharking in like the fishing industry. I was about to say the hit re-released. Okay, yeah. So the intro made no sense and is like just set up for
it's set up for sharks. It's that's it. It's just like, hey kids,
this
sharks.
is happening. Yeah. Terrible CGI. I actually wrote terrible. Mm-hmm. The Prometheus school of running away from things with the fire wheels.
Run to the left or the right. Take your pick.
Sci-fi. Somehow, worse dialogue. Like, I'm not sure which is worse, the CGI, the dialogue, or the editing.
All of it.
All of it, yes. Well, for example, it's like, we're like 100 miles from the ocean. You're 6.6. What? That does not compute. Not even that. Like, I'm 100 miles from the ocean. You're 6 miles. No, you're 6.6 miles away from the ocean. The gap. Yeah. Okay.
That is a line that professional actress Tara Reid, who she still did theatrical movies.
Yeah.
But that is a line that theatrical professional actress Tara Reid, who was in American Pie and some other 2000.
Pussycats.
What's that?
Josie and the Pussycats.
Yes, and Josie and the Pussycats, and some other 2000s teen heartthrob movies, whatever, says in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And agreed to say.
And agreed to, yep.
Alright, so, also, not done. When the intro, when everyone's getting killed in the beach, sharks go after everyone but Finn because the plot armor thickens. Hurricanes in LA because global warming. Turn around, don't drown. Like, they're just driving through this fucking, like, street without any issues or concern of water being almost dammed up to the wheel wells. Inconsistent is being...
Gracious.
Very. Ridiculous editing, if I didn't already mention that before. Where, like, the shots are, like, super close pushed in, and then you cut away to something else that's a little bit further away. They give a scale, but it's not really. Or, like, more terrible CGI to kind of get, like, draw, like, tension. And then back to that close-up shot. But then, like, also, like, the time in which it's shot is obviously different than when, like, the first shot was made. It's sunny, and then it goes back to being, like, darker, and then they have this weird filter, and then it's raining, and then it's sunny again. I can't with you guys.
I have two particular moments.
Let me finish mine. I'm almost done. Bar stools are weapons against sharks. And then, goodbye George, because he just dies for no reason, but it's fine, everyone dies for no reason, it's like a movie.
Oh, this sucks.
And then, oh no, he's like, oh crap.
Oh crap.
And then, ow, get off of me.
Yeah.
That he screams, ouch, get off of me, that he screams, not even screams, says rather loudly off stage.
Yes. Ow, please, no.
And then, Troperson, the douchey ex-wife's boyfriend, who just encapsulates all the tropes that you need in movies like this, where at the end you need the main character and his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, whatever, to get back together as if he's the one who's getting him. Because movie. So, that's all the ones that I have listed. Matt basically already kind of went through a bunch of the, like actual coherent reasons as to why this movie is terrible. These are just the ones that came to me as we were going through. I could go on, but I'm going to stop. So I'm leaving it back over to choose for his bad.
Yes to everything.
Okay.
That's all. I mean, you guys covered it all, but what I want, the two specific camera cuts that I remember is in the first act when they're trying to get everyone to evacuate the bar, and Finn is talking to Nova, and when it cuts to her face, it's like really up close, and it's darker than the rest of the movie, and it's specifically darker than the rest of the shot.
This is what happens when you shoot a film like this in 18 fucking days.
Yeah. The other
it's heavily landed on CGI.
It looks as though it was done it looks like they filmed it separately.
No, I'm sure they did, and that's because you will hear also like there be a lot of like lines that are like reacting to something that's going on in front of them and in front of us, but they're off screen, and it's obvious that they are recording this like a separate time,
right?
To be able to be dubbed into the movie later.
Right, I understand that, but you can tell when it's those close-up camera cuts. You can tell that they weren't filmed in the same on the same date. The other one is towards the end with Tara Reid, where everyone's looking on as Finn is running to his death. Or no, he just gets eaten by the giant fucking shark that fell from the sky. He jumped into the shark, chainsaw in hand, like he was fucking Ash from the Evil Dead. And everyone's like, oh my god, is he alive? And it cuts to Tara Reid a couple times. And she has like just this...
very flat aspect, yeah.
And the
Matthew McConaughey did it better.
And you could tell that the way they cut to it, she wasn't on set that day.
No.
And so Strange also said, I like to counterbalance Matt's bad ugly with that this movie exists, but saying that my great is that this movie exists. And then also says Matt's favorite genre has to be horror because that's my wife's, and she also hates this movie. So is that it for your bad, or are you still going?
No, that's it for my bad. You guys covered everything else. You specifically more with like going down the entire movie. Matt with just in detail. I have nothing else to add. I don't think I want to add anything else. Yes, Ari.
I'm going to do the ugly first.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so my ugly, and I do have some ugly, and it's the reason why I probably actually want actual movies to watch this movie again. Not because my husband will never watch it with me and I can't watch this movie by myself. Or because it's actually like that terrible that I can never actually sit through it again. It's actually because of the problematic language, like the misogyny.
Yeah.
It's the rampant misogyny that just I don't remember noticing the first time I watched it, but I definitely noticed this time around, and that makes it actually unwatchable more for me than anything else. They could cut all that full fucking lines out between George and Nova, the commentary about, oh, it's like that's someone's time of the month or whatever, when the shark's blood is in the water. Oh my
god, yes.
The problematic language is set up with a bitchy ex-wife trope for an unearned reconciliation at the end. This whole time, she's basically an unlikable, almost unredeemable character, which is weird because actually Finn, from basically what it sounds like around his family, that he's not there for them, he hasn't been there for them, doesn't really give any explanation as to why he might not have been that, but so why he should be redeemed. Like, there's a reason, and it's justifiable, and somehow they should love him still. No, none of that. It's just, well, she hates me for no reason, but I still want them to get together back at the end. Which I guess is better than him being with, like, the bar chick who is half his age, who obviously doesn't even know he has a fucking family, because that relationship isn't going anywhere. Obviously, if he hasn't even said anything about himself, that he also talks about this family that he wants to, get back with, or misses, or cares about, or talks about in any way that he's proud of, that this chick that he's banging on the side has no idea that they exist. And I gotta imagine that, at least at this time, they've been doing something or been in proximity with each other for some amount of time that you would ordinarily pick these things up eventually. And so, like, all of that, all the fucking weird-ass communication between him and his daughter, where she is just moping for no reason, like, oh, you care about my dear son more than me. Where the fuck did this come from? And, like, no, just remember, I went for you first. Like, as if that's to just kind of shut down any actual feelings she has about how her dad has never been around. And this is the time to talk about it, because this is, of course, the time to talk about it. But also, like, remember, you didn't know he was in town. You went after her and your wife because you thought he was safe. Now, I'm not saying you still would have gone for them first and then him, but you went after him after you found out he was in town. Like, you were surprised and did not realize because no one had talked to you about it. Like, curiosity, that kind of tramples over your own point. Like, just remember, I came back for you first. So obviously she should be grateful. But, like, you didn't even know your son was in town, so if you did, who would you have gone after first? In all honesty, be real. And, again, maybe it would have been them, but we'll never know because of the way they decided to write that scene. So, no, this movie has a lot of problematic elements to it that have absolutely nothing to do with all of the terrible things we just got finished talking about. And that is probably actually why I will never watch this film again. Anyone else?
Yeah, so I agree with everything that you said. The misogynistic lines are terrible. They're in poor taste, especially the "it's somebody's time of the month"
Yeah, it's
line.
so fucking weird.
The unearned, the unearned ending, and the ending is completely unearned.
Yeah.
The wife getting back with the husband. There was nothing there. It's like, oh, we saved our kids, yay, that's it. Yeah. And then there's some kind of Nova and the son just like it's like their time on the helicopter served for him to actually care about her now after
her talking about her backstory, which is the only backstory that we really get in the entire fucking film. And then also, they're closer in age than her and his dad. And he's also hot. And she's hot, so why not?
Because no.
I'm just saying, I really why they shipped them together.
And I understand that. But the convenience that he jumped into the same shark that she got got eaten by while she got thrown out of the chopper, only to then be saved. Whole, undigested, mind you, for the son to be like, oh my god, please still be alive. And they set it up to where it looks like they want to kiss, or he wants to kiss her, but obviously he goes in for the hug. And then at the end of the movie, they're standing arm in arm over each other, and she's leaning into him. No, go fuck yourself.
No, they didn't have them kiss because that would have been completely unearned and weird and creepy. But obviously, they're showing that that's something that, like, there's a relationship that we're trying to, like, that's obviously what's going to happen next. But the mom and the dad, they got to get together because...
Also, Yeah, because movie. Also, huge lack of diversity.
Oh yeah, there's that.
This is an all-white cast.
In LA.
Yeah, in LA.
Granted, it's also like it's Orange County is where they start, and Orange County is not necessarily known for
its diversity.
And then they moved the story up into Beverly Hills, which is not exactly known for its diversity. So no, that is for me as well.
Yet George from Beverly Hills can go down to the pier because the beer's cheaper.
And because of the view, honestly, I get that. Again, I would get that.
But they're still on the beach though. You could.
They're on the pier.
Pier, beach, whatever. Yeah. Still, you couldn't tell me there were no people of color. Just
they were in the background with no lines.
Yeah, no.
Not many of them either.
Yeah, so that's it for me. Matthew, I'm pretty sure we know your answer, Matt, but just give it to us anyway.
The movie ends and we go into another ripoff of Go Go Godzilla in Oh No, Here Comes the Sharknado or whatever the fuck.
Oh, is that what it is?
I don't know what it is, but it sounds like Go Go Godzilla.
I know
just a shittier version.
I know Go Go Godzilla was a song.
Hey, it's time to go Go Godzilla.
Oh, okay. I thought it was trying to be more punk rock, whatever, 80s.
It's trash. It's trash. It's terrible. The misogyny, like you said, the all-white cast. Oh no, I think there were some black kids on the bus.
No, they were background.
Yeah, they're background. There's nobody on the main cast.
They had lines, they had names.
Everyone's white.
Gary.
Everything was ugly about this movie. We can move on.
Okay, so greats.
It ended.
Yeah, no, you're not getting me past it ended.
Okay, so my only great is somehow Ian Ziering's feelings about this film made it into the film. When he utters a line, I just can't sit back and watch this.
Yeah.
And that was a line of the movie, and it made me laugh my ass off. It's the I don't know. I would love to read more. I would not love, but I would like to read more about the decision making in making this film, and that it was only shot in 18 days. Why they did it the way they did, what they were trying to go for, because maybe they weren't. Maybe they were honestly trying to make a serious film, did the best they could in 18 days, failed miserably, and yet somehow people still ate it up because it was so obviously terrible. They probably also forgave it because it was available on cable. If you saw this movie was without any preamble, without anything coming up on Sci-Fi, there's a good chance that this movie would either have bombed because everyone looked at it like this is a piece of shit, what the fuck are we doing in 2013, or it would have actually still made its money back because we were like, this looks so fucking terrible, I gotta see it. And that's exactly what ended up happening, except it was available on cable, so you didn't have to go anywhere, you didn't have to pay anything, you didn't have to sit back, set your DVR, and watch it at your leisure when you realize, oh, this actually is awful, but I can't believe someone got greenlit for making this. Let me watch it again and tell all my friends about how terribly bad it is and good at the same time. It's that sort of thing. I want to know what the decision making was in making this film. Was it that you guys were doing it on purpose and it just came out this is going to be go down as Plan 9 out of space sort of style, a movie that was so unintentionally bad that it still managed to be remembered for that reason, or were you trying to make fun of all of the different movies that you clearly were drawing from? Twisters, Jaws, general horror, and that's just the name from the top of my head that obviously it was inspired by. That you're yeah, let's do Twisters but make it horror. Let's do Jaws, honestly, let's show more sharks. Let's do all of these things and then just take it up a notch. But you just had a shitty script because absolutely none of the dialogue made a goddamn lick of sense. But at the same time, some of that was also using tropes too. So, what was some of the decisions in making that? So, if I had to give it a grade, it's that it is so bad it's good.
And that's where this whole time I'm watching this, the whole time we're talking about it, I feel like Detective, the Glass Onion Detective, who is he?
I don't remember.
Oh, Detective Benoit?
Yeah, I feel like Detective Benoit in the second Knives Out, which was Glass Onion,
yeah.
At the end, when the lady goes, It's so stupid, it's genius. And Detective Benoit just goes, no, it's just stupid.
No, that's gonna always be the line, right?
Yeah.
There are some things that are honestly so stupid it's genius. Well, it's pastor. But then there are some things that are just fucking stupid.
And that's this.
I was gonna say Transformers, but like there are movies that are. And we can have that conversation about why a movie is so stupid it's genius, and some movies that are just fucking stupid. And like some of it's always gonna come down to like your personal opinions. But for me, my reasons why I think a movie is so good it's bad is that it has to follow certain rules. One, it has to break a bunch of the rules.
Okay.
And be glaringly obvious at doing it.
Yeah.
It's not, we're going to break a rule because it's convenient to the plot to do so. We're doing it even when it's inconvenient. We're doing it consistently throughout the film. We're making you realize that there were rules in the first place that you may not have realized were there, and then we're fucking breaking them. We're following some because gravity still has to exist for the most part, but maybe it doesn't always. Maybe the fucking motorcycle goes through the air and comes to a complete stop when it gets to the ground for no reason whatsoever.
Maybe we can throw homemade bombs out of propane and a fire alarm into a tornado with sharks, and it'll stop the tornado.
Exactly.
All right.
So if high speak makes it into the film.
All right. So you're not gonna convince me anymore, and I just don't see it. So do you want to go to out of 10?
Wait, yours to me anymore? You mean?
Huh?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Oh, what you just said.
I said you're not gonna convince me.
Oh no, that's fine.
And I can't take anymore.
That's fine.
Because this movie sucked.
I gotta get ready for work tomorrow anyway, so yeah.
So out of 10,
3.
You go ahead first.
1.
Wow.
They made a movie.
I'm gonna go with a. I'm gonna go with a 6, but I am also very aware that I could easily drop it down to a 5.5 simply because of the misogyny.
You gave this a 6, and you gave Blair Witch a 5.5?
Yeah. Yeah. I've explained my ranking system.
She has explained her ranking system.
This is a movie that I feel like has some redeeming
elements
to it.
So that gives us an average of 3.333.
Which is exactly where fucking IMDb has it.
So
I'm also a 6, but I know 100% this is like a 3 at best.
Rent, buy, stream, don't bother.
Yeah, no, Strange. I'm right there with you. No, honest to God, it's actually probably a fucking 3. But because it's so bad it's good, it gets a 6. I can't, and that's if I ignore the misogyny. The misogyny actually probably drops down to 5.5, but I'm gonna go with 6 for right now. Just depends on how I feel the other day. I can maybe revise that.
This is a don't bother unless you are extremely drugged up and have nothing else better to do.
Or a masochist. I am also just don't bother.
I would be stream it, but do make sure you have plenty of substances of mood-altering variety with you.
And or friends.
And definitely friends. I don't think this is a movie that you should ever watch by yourself.
No.
Unless you're feeling really bad about your day.
You might
don't do it. It's like if you're...
If you watch Sharknado by yourself, you may be psychotic or a cop.
No, I wouldn't say that, but
or just on the verge of like just ending it all.
So I had a moment when I was thinking about something. I wanted to rewatch Attack on Titan, and I almost started a post on Facebook that if I ever say that I actually want to rewatch Attack on Titan, please check on me.
I actually liked Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but it is rough.
It's fucking rough.
Be that as it may, it is fucking good.
It is.
No.
It is. But I cannot rewatch that shit. If I wanted to watch her shit, and I do want to rewatch that shit, I'm actually doing it.
Well, you never finished it, did you? You guys never finished the show.
No, we never finished the final season.
That's the thing. I got through the whole fucking show.
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you're watching this, if you're like telling someone, I think I'm gonna watch Sharknado by myself and or possibly sober, please check out this person.
Yeah.
That is a cry for help.
Yes.
But if you're watching it with friends, and especially if you're watching it with mood-altering substances, that's the best time, the best way to watch this film.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just make fun of it. That's what it's there for.
Yeah. Like I said, if you got nothing else better to do, and if you got drugs and alcohol.
Anthony Ferrante, you really ought to be ashamed of yourself. But honestly, I feel like we should be ashamed. Also, not just because we watched it, mostly not even because we watched it. Also because I have not somehow been more successful in my movie career than you, and you have this to speak for it, and I don't, which is in and of itself kind of disappointing. So I should get off my ass and make a movie because it can't possibly be worse.
Strange. It's not that they don't like it; they like it. They just can't get through it.
No, if I want to watch that, if I am actually telling you that I think I'm gonna start watching Attack on Titan from the beginning again, check on me.
I will come and visit, and we will watch it together.
I'm not okay. I'm just letting you know.
I'm
not okay.
We will all watch it together.
The beauty of this movie to talk shit about and have fun with how dumb it is. I think not like Attack on Titan is in my DNA because my brother doesn't like it either. Gotcha.
All right. So, that's everything.
We're done
I
with...
think that's everything. We are done with Spooky Month.
Spooky Month.
So, I am going to be bringing back... Finally, I get to spin the wheel again.
Yes.
After the schlock you all put me through this month.
Well, to be fair, I came up with... I had a different option, but then everybody just agreed on what Ari wanted.
That was a fair way of if you're going to pick your movie. But I also did try to provide options for us to be able to still watch it. We just not stream them. But that involved you being here, and so me and Matt still got to spin our wheel.
And that's fine. It's just timing and other factors.
Yeah, I get it.
Were in the way, but
these theme month. Well, the only theme month I think we're gonna do on stream is October.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would still try to push more for like February.
Oh wow.
But just because of what is it? Oh no, I know they like it. They've tried to convince me to watch it, but I just can't. It's so boring. What the fuck? Give me One Piece any day, and that's over 1,000 episodes. Jesus. You're watching the same goddamn show?
For real. All right, so Matthew, are you ready?
Yeah. I guess we're just gonna run with this. All right.
Let's get it over with.
Here we go. We are ready to do this. Do that. All right,
let's go. Let's get into November strong.
Oh, let's do this. Let's also do this. I want to do slice repeats.
Like what?
What?
So instead of each movie having one slice of the wheel, it's gonna have two on different sides. So that way, it's not like obvious if we pass one, then I'm not gonna get it. So,
okay. All right.
Change it up a little bit.
Well, you have less movies on your wheel than I do, so.
Here we.
Wheel of Morality, turn, tell us the lesson that we should learn.
Oh no.
Ooh. Oh, god damn it, it was inches away.
Now,
okay.
What is next week's lesson?
So it was inches away from one that I am really wanting to see. I've had an itch to watch it for the past couple months, and I really want to watch with Juice, The Last Samurai.
Ooh, with Tom Cruise.
It was inches away. So instead, as a palate cleanser to the horror that was October, but palate cleanser to Sharknado.
Well, to be fair, not all of October was bad.
We will be watching the Vietnam War epic starring Robert De Niro, The Deer Hunter.
I'm figuring out Robert De Niro. I went Robert Downey Jr.
No, The Deer
Hunter. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a rough one.
Isn't that Oliver Stone?
Yes, I believe so.
Interesting.
It might be Oliver Stone.
I've never
for sure.
Never heard of this movie.
This is one that's like, it was kind of like Raging Bull, where it's like one of those movies you have to see.
Okay.
And it's on a list of like movies that we have to see that we've never seen.
Very good.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's very true. I'm trying to see who did do it. No, it was Michael Camino.
Because we just did Raging Bull for the first time this year.
Yeah.
It was Michael Camino.
Oof! It's a long one too, so see if you can get here early.
Well, how long?
3 hours.
Holy fuck.
3 hours.
Alright.
Actually, no, I'm going to spin again.
Why?
I would like to spin again.
Why?
3 hour movies are tough. Well, but last time I had 3 hours. So
we did Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, so it's a 3 hour movie, so just be ready for that.
What else? Didn't we do another one that was 3 hours? We did another one. We did another one that was like around that long. What, didn't we?
So just gotta make sure that you're getting here early.
I'll try to get here early. No, if anything, I will make sure I try to get here. Like, you have to make sure you get.
Well, no, I'll be off. It's the first week of the month, so I really don't do anything on the first week of the month. Christopher Walken's also in it.
Oh,
John
thank God.
Cazale.
Meryl Streep.
Wait, John who?
Cazale. I think I don't know how you pronounce his name, but it was Fredo from Godfather.
Oh, I don't know. Meryl Streep is in it.
Yeah.
Meryl Streep.
And
Meryl
no, it's Michael
Streep.
Cimino.
Yes, I just said that.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay.
4 times actually.
So,
Alright.
yeah, this is gonna be rough. Okay. Alright, so I guess we're doing that.
Sure are.
Alright, so that's gonna call it for here. Sharknado sucks for No Comment Entertainment. This is Matt.
This is Ariane.
This is Juice.
We're out.
Bye.
Never watch this.
I'm sober.